Welcome back to Get to the Point with Miranda Burke. I'm here with Dr. Steele Arbeeny, who is our Global Chief Technology Officer at SNP. So let's dive right in. Steele, I hear many customers are delaying ERP modernization projects like S/4HANA because they're concerned about downtime. So tell me, I know SNP has a near zero downtime technology. What is this and how can this be addressed?
Great, and thank you for that great intro, Miranda. And you know, you're correct. Downtime is a topic that comes up constantly for our customers. Everybody nowadays is running a 24/7 business, and the impact of downtime, and a global organization as well, an impact of downtime is felt very severely. So at SNP, we are the innovator and the originator of near zero downtime technology for SAP ERP transformation, including merge, divestitures, carve-outs, cloud moves, migrations, and even S/4HANA upgrades, all completed with our near zero downtime technology. And what that really means is we're able to take customers to low single-digit hours of downtime. Now, everybody asks, how much downtime can I get? And of course, that's a challenging question to ask because it is heavily infrastructure dependent. Depends on how fast we can push data through the platforms, be read and written. But SNP has invested years in optimizing this and change data capture technologies that can minimize the amount of data that we have to read and write in the downtime. And that's the core of our near zero downtime technology. It splits the transformation into an uptime migration, things that we're copying the bulk of the data while the business is still running on the ERP system. And then we only incur a very small downtime period for the catch-up, right? For just the incremental piece that has been changed during the uptime migration. And that's really what our near zero downtime technology is. And remember, it can be coupled with many of the other transformations that you've come to know SNP for, meaning all the business type transformation like M&A, mergers, divestitures, and so on, as well as modernizations, cloud moves, just lift and shift type moves, S/4HANA migrations as well.
So what key benefits are customers getting out of it?
Oh, everybody might want to minimize downtime, but the real question is why, right? And our models show that for a 24/7 operation that's pushing data through that system 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every hour of downtime incurs $1 million cost. And if you're talking about 10 hours of downtime, that is most certainly an unacceptable amount with that cost put on it. Now, of course, if it's not a 24/7 operation and if it's not that size revenue, it scales down. But that model, that 100,000 per billion of 24/7 operation still holds. And that is really ultimately the benefit of it. It's time. And everybody knows time is money. We want to keep shipping the product, keep making the product, keep delivering the product. And in order to do that, we got to have our systems running. And if they're not running, it all comes down to cost. And by the way, customers all know this cost because as they do their disaster recovery planning, they have to know the cost of downtime to determine how they're going to back up that system. Maybe if I have a very low cost of downtime, I can do an offline backup on tape, and if it takes me a long time to recover, it's no big deal because my cost of downtime is very low. However, on things like ERP, which are the digital core of your business, everything runs through that. Manufacturing, shipping, payments, everything. The cost of downtime is very high. The impact is very high, and that's known in the disaster recovery plan. So this cost of downtime is very well known throughout the business. So with our near zero downtime technology, we're able to save customers from that very high cost of downtime and business impact by getting them to low single-digit hours of downtime.
Does industry play a factor with near zero downtime?
It doesn't play a factor in the applicability of it, meaning every industry can use the SNP NZD technology. Where the industry might come into play is, for example, on the volume of different types of transactional data or even master data. So if it's a very kind of high transactional type industry where those transactional tables are constantly updating, that might incur a larger impact on the downtime period because we've had to capture more data that we need to do the catch-up period with. However, in maybe a different type of industry where it's huge customer bases or huge manufacturing bases of master data with maybe a relatively lower transactional volume, the impact on the downtime would be much less of that industry. But the good part is that through our early analysis, automated through software, SNP scans these systems and we're able to identify where the large changes are and the best way to imply the near zero downtime technology. Remember, at SNP, we talk about it like it's one product, but NZD is really 12 separate approaches that can be applied collectively to help a customer achieve the minimized downtime. And how do we know how to apply those 12 and mix and match them? It's through software-based analysis.
How does this happen? How does all this magic happen?
No, that's a very interesting question. And it's through the intelligent application of those 12 different approaches that I mentioned. And through analyzing the usage of the system, where the growth is it isolated in data that doesn't impact other parts of the system? Or is it something like, for example, receiving an item on a purchase order, which affects purchasing documents, financial documents, inventory? It touches something all over the system. We look at that in our near zero downtime analysis to figure out where is the best place to apply those 12 different approaches. A simple thing may be, hey, we realize that your customer master is not growing so it's reasonable for us to say customer master updates we're not going to allow during the downtime period. So that's one thing we don't have to worry about. Okay, that's fine for some master data maybe. Other items we might say for those we want to do a delta capture, change data capture, where we're going to do an uptime migration, where we're going to bring over everything that's there now from a starting point, and then a downtime migration where we bring over everything that's changed since that starting point, so you're consistent of the downtime. A third option might be, there might be small data sets that are changing very frequently. That way you say, look, this is not the largest data set we have. This is not really a worry. Let's do this completely in the downtime. And we won't worry about it in the uptime at all. And many more kind of permutations of those options allow us to construct the best solution problem of how do I pick the 12 different scenarios across many, many thousands of SAP tables in order to minimize the downtime on this particular system. It might be very different on a different system based on how it's used and so on. And that is the benefit of a software-based approach that really no one can tell you up front. In other kind of copycat technologies, it's all a black box. You don't know how this is done. You have no insight to how it's being applied or what the outcome is even going to be until you do the final migration. With SNP, we open that box and we're able to present much of that early, upfront, and work through it with the customer. So it's not a surprise when the time comes.
So automation is the secret sauce.
It always is.
Well, great, Steele. Thank you so much for your time today. This has been Get to the Point on the Near Zero Downtime topic. If you are interested in continuing the conversation, please fill out the form on this page and an expert will be in touch.
Great.
Thank you, Steele.
Thank you.